Everyone. As Sam said, I'm Michelle. My role at the LTA is Schools and Further Education Manager, and from our kind of our vision and mission is to grow tennis by opening it up. So hopefully everything I'm going to say today is resonates with making tennis more accessible, both to you as a college, but also to your students more broadly. So to kind of set the meeting, I thought it's probably easiest to use our website to talk you through all of the offer. Our offer is completely free and easily accessible to you as college staff. So if I just share my screen, and as Sam said, feel free to jump off mute and ask any questions as we go through. Rob, as you're the only person I can actually see, could you just confirm that you can see what looks like the LTA homepage?
Yep, I can see that.
Great, thank you. So yeah, this is the LTA homepage, and if I come to roles and venues, and then to view roles and venues, scroll to the bottom, you'll see there is a further education tab. And talking through the programme, as I said, it's all here and available, as simple as that, 2 clicks of the button, and you can see all our offer. So starting from the top, enrichment, what does that look like? We've got 2 different elements within this. So thinking about engaging students in a different way to perhaps traditional tennis. We've got red ball tennis, which would be played on the equivalent of a badminton court, and the image above shows students kind of set up in that space. But this resource here, if I just click on it, is a PDF of various different introductions to the game, but then a range of fun games and activities. Each activity card, tells you how to play, what equipment is needed, and gives a visual on how to set it up. There tend to be large numbers on each court, but then as you progress through, there's more kind of doubles play as such. And then if I just come to the bottom, there's plenty here. There's some different formats of matches and competitions, again, slightly more informal on how to do those, including kind of your standard box leagues and knockout draws if you wanted to do something more formal. And the intention that this document could be both used by you or given to students to deliver sessions themselves, whether that be in curriculum or enrichment time as well. The key thing about red ball tennis is you can see the ball there is larger, it's slower, and the rackets are shorter handled. So again, it makes it more simple and easier to pick up. The other element in here is cardio tennis. So if you're doing anything around health and fitness, and we find particularly that cardio tennis as an adult session, it largely attracts females. So if you're looking to attract female students into doing some different format of exercise, as it says there, it's high energy, high fitness, and it follows a similar format, this resource, in terms of what it is, what you need to do, and then a series of activity cards. This one goes from a warm up through to sideline activities. So when you're not actually hitting the ball, how do you keep your heart rate up? And then goes through drills and condition points, and then into session 2. Obviously, these are all flexible and you can pick and choose what you do when and how you do it and what you want to do with those. But those are kind of our 2 enrichment resources. If I then move on to curriculum-based things, we have produced a series of units mapped to the BTEC Sport, both the 2016 and 2019 specifications. And essentially, these are taking the schemes of work and using tennis as the vehicle to convey the learning outcomes. So again, if I just click on one, again, these are all free and adaptable, so you can pick and choose which elements you use, but it goes through the unit aims and then various different elements of how you would use tennis to meet those learning aims. I won't go into too much detail, but they're available for you. And again, they're flexible, so you pick and choose what you want when you want to use it. In terms of workforce, there's a couple of different elements to this. So workforce development is building employability skills with perhaps some more tangible qualifications for individuals. And the kind of more obvious elements are the coaching quals pathway, but also the tennis officials pathway. And you can click on either of those links to find out more through there. Our coach development centres actually provide the coaching quals pathways. So if you ever wanted to host an in-house coaching qualification, then the way to do it would be to link with your local coach development centre, who would be able to arrange courses depending on times, etc. In addition to that, there are also various organisation official resources, again all free and available there. So if you wanted your students to look through those or to run their own event, that's all there available. And then also working with sports leaders, we've created a tennis leaders page and a tennis leaders certificated activity, and those focus on the key employability skills. That is open to secondary schools as well, so it might be worth speaking to students to see if they've done it at secondary school or in a community tennis venue before leading that. But there's some extension activities which probably be more relevant to some of your kind of BTEC sports students, but then also it'd be there for your foundation students as relevant as well. Moving on to competition, there's the formalised competition. So we run a year 11 to 13 competition as well as national championships, and you'll see there's various guidance on who that event is open for. And then I'm sure you're all familiar with the AoC sports competitions as well as the NatSpec for those disabled students. And then, as Sam mentioned earlier, we've brought in a new Red Bull format. And again, that goes back to the badminton size court style tennis. And there's a couple of different formats here for both intra-college and inter-college. And again, these are only suggested. You'll see it says schools there, but this is because we want to raise tennis participation for students who possibly aren't already playing formalised yellow ball tennis across both secondary and FE. But it gives you some ideas on how to set up a format of competition for both intra-school, but it also could be inter-school. And then just to give you an idea of the scorecard, what that looks like, is there as a resource for you to use. Again, free and flexible, that you can pick and choose what you want and how you want to use it. Moving on to disability tennis, and the key thing here is linking with external opportunities for both foundation students and mainstream students who are disabled, but then linking in with that open court program so that there's recreational tennis available participation, but also competitions and moving into pathways as well, should they want to extend. We've often found colleges deliver to foundation students because the timetables are set, so it's slightly easier to bring them in and do some organised tennis as well. But there's a network of open court venues across the country that would be very happy to link with yourselves and your students. And just briefly touching on wider community links. If you're ever looking for a local tennis venue or coaches near you to link with, then there's also links on here. And LTA venue registration is free for education venues. So if you were looking to utilise your facilities for community bookings, then there's a range of venue management and marketing and court booking tools. And if you have outside facilities, then if you were looking at a gate access system, there's also information on here for this, which means that it can be kind of self-managed in that an individual books a court and they receive a code that they can then input to the gate access a keypad on the gate, which then opens, so it doesn't require somebody there to open or oversee the facilities. Moving down, there's also, for those students who are looking to move on to university, a link through to the university page, which gives information about those universities in England, Scotland, Wales that have tennis programs and beyond. And then you'll see at the bottom there's a form about linking in with our regional teams to kind of connect some of these in, or if you had any questions, then get in touch this way. The other thing I just wanted to highlight is opportunities for students and yourselves to volunteer. We've recently refurbished a number of courts around the country and looking to activate them through free parks tennis, but then also there's opportunities both in the community and at our events, which are open to individuals to apply to do. I appreciate that that's a whistle-stop tour of the LTA FE programme, but are there any questions from anybody?